Have you ever paused to ask yourself whether the way you connect with your body, especially through self-touch, is still meeting your actual needs now that you're past 60? If that thought has ever crossed your mind, you're far from alone. In fact, it's one of the most common and private concerns I hear from men entering the second half of life. Not just the question of whether masturbation is still appropriate, but how it can be practiced in a way that nurtures rather than depletes. I'm Dr. Catherine, and for over a decade, I've had the privilege of walking alongside thousands of men, many in their 60s, 70s, and beyond, who have wanted to stay vibrantly connected to their sense of masculinity, confidence, health, and emotional well-being as they age. And let me say from the start, yes, it is not only okay to continue this practice, but when done mindfully, it can be highly supportive of your overall health. Before we begin, if you're here to take practical steps to safeguard your well-being and preserve your vitality, go ahead and like this video, subscribe to stay informed, and let me know in the comments, where are you tuning in from today? Your engagement helps extend this essential message to other men who need it just as much. Now, today's topic is rarely discussed, but profoundly important. How to safely and healthfully explore self-pleasure after 60, and the 3 most common mistakes older men make that may be silently harming their physical and emotional health. Let's start by overturning a damaging myth. Masturbation doesn't lose its relevance as you age. In fact, it becomes even more crucial for certain systems of the body. The misguided belief that it's something you should move past or grow out of is not only outdated, it can actually hurt your self-image, intimacy, and physiological function. Here's what the latest scientific research tells us. Gentle, consistent self-stimulation helps sustain blood circulation to the penile tissue, a factor critically important in maintaining tissue health and erectile integrity. It supports healthy testosterone balance and helps stimulate the prostate gland in a way that may promote better prostate function and reduce congestion. Moreover, the release of neurotransmitters such as dopamine, oxytocin, and serotonin during climax fosters relaxation and emotional well-being. Cortisol, the body's primary stress hormone, naturally decreases after climax, promoting better sleep and reduced anxiety. That isn't just theory, it's biology. Emotionally, this practice offers continuity, a way to stay connected to your own inner life, to reflect on your body with compassion, and to maintain a sense of centered masculinity, especially at a stage where body image may change. But here's what's essential. Your body has changed, and the way you engage with it must evolve. This isn't dysfunction, it's an adjustment. Think of it not as a decline, but as refinement. After 60, skin becomes more delicate due to decreased collagen and elastin. Nerve response slows slightly due to reduced nerve conduction velocity. Blood vessels lose a degree of elasticity, making the responsiveness of erectile tissue different than it was in your 20s or 30s. These are normal biological shifts. So, our approach must shift too. And much like caring for a high-mileage, finely tuned vintage car, your body requires a level of awareness, gentleness, and presence that perhaps wasn't necessary before, but that can actually make this experience far more satisfying. Let's walk through the 3 most common mistakes and the steps to correct them. Mistake number 3, rushing through the experience. This is incredibly common. Many men treat masturbation as a mechanical release, something to rush through or get over with. But when you rush, here's what's happening in your body. Your sympathetic nervous system, the system responsible for fight or flight, remains active. Blood pressure may rise, but not in a way that promotes healthy erectile function. The vascular system tenses rather than opening up. This tells your body to brace itself, not to relax and receive. Emotionally, rushing conditions your brain to associate intimacy with tension, not safety. Over time, this can blunt emotional satisfaction and make sexual pleasure feel more like stress relief than genuine connection. The solution is simple but powerful. slow down. Even taking just 5 intentional minutes can reset your nervous system. Create an environment free from distractions. Take a moment to breathe deeply and allow your consciousness to settle into your body. This one shift, presence, can surprisingly rekindle sensitivity and arousal you may have assumed was permanently diminished. Mistake number 2, applying too much pressure. As sensitivity reduces slightly with age, a very natural part of neural aging, many men subconsciously compensate by gripping tighter or rushing movement. But the penis is made of delicate structures, namely spongy tissue, capillary networks, and finely tuned nerve endings. Excessive pressure can cause microtears in the skin and desensitize nerve endings over time, leading to issues often referred to informally as death grip syndrome. In clinical terms, this is a variation of penile sensory neuropathy and tactile desensitization. The result? A need for increasingly intense stimulation, leading to reduced enjoyment with a partner, altered expectations of sexual response, and in some cases, chronic irritation or low-grade inflammation. The better path is this: reduce pressure and introduce cushion. Use a hypoallergenic, fragrance-free, water-based lubricant. Think not in terms of force, but in terms of circulation. Your hand is no longer a tool. It's a therapeutic extension of your nervous system. Slow, rhythmic, variable touch invites blood flow and restores sensation over time. Mistake number 1, ignoring emotional context. This is the most underestimated factor of all. In my clinical practice, I've seen how powerful internalized shame can be, often carried from early religious teachings, cultural ideas, or outdated social conditioning. These internal messages create a loop of guilt or secrecy. But here's what you need to know. Chronic emotional stress triggers your endocrine system to elevate cortisol. High cortisol doesn't just affect mood, it interferes directly with testosterone regulation, restricts vascular tone, and impairs nitric oxide-mediated arousal. Most importantly, shame creates separation. It inhibits the brain's reward system. It fragments your sense of self. And even if you have a partner, it limits the authenticity you bring into that relationship by diminishing your connection to your own needs. The corrective path begins with compassion, reminding yourself there's nothing unnatural about staying in touch with your body. This is your biology, not a moral failing. If the emotional burden is heavy, speak with a medical professional, therapist, or confidant. Emotional attunement is vital to sexual health. So, how do you put this all into practice? Start with a private, safe, distraction-free space. Wash your hands, prepare a clean towel, and high-quality skin-safe lubricant. Begin not with urgency, but with stillness. Pay attention to your breathing. Notice your body's sensations as they develop naturally. Touch should be varied, slow, and receptive, not rushed or pressured. Stay emotionally aware. If negative thoughts arise, welcome them mindfully, then return to your body. This practice becomes less about achieving orgasm and more about resilience, release, and whole-body care. Now you may be asking, I've had these habits for decades. Can I really change now? The answer is wholeheartedly yes. Most men were never taught how to adjust their approach as their body aged because no one talked about it. You weren't given the information or tools. That is not your fault. But here's the great news. Your body, particularly your nervous system, is remarkably adaptable. With patience and consistency, your sensitivity, arousal, and sense of satisfaction can return, and in many cases, deepen. In fact, many men find that paradoxically, they enjoy intimacy more fully in their 60s and 70s because they've slowed down, let go of anxiety, and become more present. This is not the decline. It is the arrival of experience, mastery, and presence. Here's what I want you to remember. Your body still matters. Your pleasure still matters. And your confidence is deeply, intrinsically worth protecting. Self-pleasure at this stage of life isn't about mimicking youth. It's about honoring the wisdom of your years. caring for your body with intention, and recognizing that intimacy does not have an expiration date. Each small, mindful change, each act of self-respect supports your comfort, your freedom, and your dignity. If this message resonated with you, please consider liking and subscribing. Share this with a man who may need to hear it, but hasn't had the courage to ask. And let me know in the comments, what topic in men's health would you like to hear about next? I'm Dr. Katie, and remember, your age doesn't define your passion, your choices do.